Hello and welcome to another episode of Live Feed with your host Richard Santiago. Live Feed is brought to you by Traveling Tech Teacher. For all your digital resources, check out travelingtechteacher.com. Also brought to you by thebullyexposed.com, a 501c3 nonprofit organization geared at helping survivors of bullying. So let them help you. Welcome to the show. And like I said, Aki Meto 201, thank you for joining the show. Smash that heart, whether you're watching this live or the recorded version. So, a couple of months back, I did. Someone asked me a question about what type of brutality I might have experienced in my lifetime, and I told that story, and then a friend of mine reminded me of a story that I told them a couple of years ago. Yeah, about 4 years ago, just before I left America and I started living outside of America. So I want to share that story with you and what I did in that situation. So, Hassan, thank you for joining the show. So here's what I did. So here's the situation. First of all, so what it was is I was driving, and apparently an officer was flagging me down to move my vehicle down further up the street. I didn't see the police officer. What I saw was a guy just about to come out of his parking spot. Okay. And so what I did, Rachel, thank you for joining the show. So as he's coming out of his parking spot, I went into his parking spot. But what the officer wanted me to do was to go down further down and take up a spot further down. But I honestly did not see the officer. I honestly did not. So as I parked into that spot, the officer came out. He was on bike. He came up to my vehicle on the bike and started screaming. I mean, screaming at the top of his lungs. I told you to park down there, and cursing. Why didn't you park down there? And then I turned to him and I said, Officer, I'm sorry, but I did not see you there. And he did not believe that. So he kept arguing and he kept saying things. And one thing I know from dealing with cops, talking with my friends and my family who are police officers, is never change your story. I think most bad cops, not good cops, I think most bad cops, when you change your story, it makes them feel like you're guilty. And it might very well be true. You might be 90% of the time of people who change their story are not telling the truth. And that may be a true thing. Why would you change your story if you're telling the truth? Megan Elizabeth, thank you for joining the show. So, he again started yelling, started screaming, got louder, and said, you saw me over there. You should have parked over there. And all I did was, in a calm manner, just repeat what I said, because I know I don't want to add any more to it, right? Because if I add something, if I change something, he can say, "Oh, now your story changed." So I just repeated the same thing as calmly as I could. I didn't see you, officer. I'm sorry. I just did not see you. And it's really funny because it's really funny how I remember seeing his face and his demeanor as it changed. The more he said, the more his story changed, so to speak, of why he was basically trying to tell me that I ignored him. And he kept coming up with different reasons as to why I ignored him. And all I kept saying to him is the same thing over again. I do apologize, officer, but I did not see you waving me on. I don't remember exactly, of course, I'm paraphrasing now, but I don't remember exactly what I said, but I know one thing, that I stood calm and I just repeated what I said. Now, I know I am no way, okay, shape or form stating that, if you remain this way, you won't be shot by officers, or you won't be handcuffed by officers, or any of this. If he wanted to bring me in he definitely would have found an excuse, you know. But I can tell you right now that if I had told him, hey, calm down, hey, stop cursing, you know, you could tell an officer to stop cursing. But if you do any of those things, then it lights them up even more because they feel that we're talking about the bad cops now. We're not talking about the good ones. They feel that they're the ultimate authority and they can do and say whatever they want to you. And plus, it's never a good idea, ever in the history of calming people down, is it a good idea to tell people to calm down when you want someone to calm down. That just, for some strange odd reason, does not work. You know, and so I kept sticking to my story. The officer told me, "Oh, just get out of here! Get out of here now!" Now, of course, I wanted that parking spot. That's why I parked it there, or I wanted to be in that spot. I didn't have to have that parking spot. It's just I didn't see the other one he was telling me about, and I didn't see him flagging me to go there. Um, so even though I wanted that parking spot, even though I wanted to stay there, I just left. It's always a good idea to just leave the scene. I never get on anyone for walking away from a fight, running away from a fight. I never gonna get on you for that. I mean, the guy has a gun. I don't have a gun, so I'm definitely not gonna sit there and argue with him. If he says go, I'm just gonna go and find a parking spot somewhere else. And it was a very crowded area, so finding parking was hard. It was one of those situations where I came onto a place, somebody was leaving, and I took the spot. You know, one of those lucky situations, that we very, very rarely have in life. But he couldn't argue with me because I didn't give him a chance to argue with me. I let him, he was frustrated. He's probably having a bad day. And he probably is a good cop, just having a bad day. Doesn't excuse him, but he's having a bad day, and I'm not going to sit there and argue with him, and I'm just going to go and diffuse it as best as I can by apologizing and repeating my story and not changing my story. I hope this helps you guys. But like I said, no way does this have to do with, I'm definitely not going to in no way say if any of the victims of police brutality who were shot and killed had done this would have helped them. No, because I really think that those are situations where those cops were going to do whatever they could to escalate those situations because they're racist. That's my belief. So that in no way has anything to do with that. It's just telling you now, when you're dealing in these situations, even when you're dealing with bullies, when you're dealing with bullies in this situation, definitely remain calm like I did. If you want, just repeat just the same things over to state your case. And when you have a chance to go, go. That's one thing that I told you guys in the beginning of this show. Not this show, excuse me. In the beginning of when these episodes started, when we started doing these episodes, I told you guys that I was showing videos of kids stuck in bathrooms from their bullies, and their bullies, might look the other way to laugh, or they look away in some way, and they're not focused on you, and the victims don't end up running out. That's your time to run out. In my opinion, this situation with this officer was like me being stuck in a bathroom with a bully who's 10 times my size that I can't fight my way out because he has a gun. I can't fight my way out. And because he's a police officer, you got to give him some type of respect. So I couldn't fight my way out. So the minute he gave me the opportunity, just get out of here, I go. I don't stick around. All too often, I have seen bullies say to people, hey Danielle, thank you for joining the show. I have seen bullies say to people, get out of here, go. And the bully's just so terrified they stay there. You can't be so terrified that you can't see what's happening around you. You can't find an escape route if your bully has you stuck in the bathroom. You have to still be aware. Even though I understand it's a scary moment. How you doing, Danielle? Smash that heart, Danielle. Show me some love. I understand all that. I understand that, it's a very terrifying situation, but we have to learn that when we're in terrifying situations, that we still are able to see the exits, see ways to protect ourselves. Thank you, Danielle, and get out of there when we need to. So that's my story, my last story of police brutality when I lived in Las Vegas. And I mean, not police brutality, I apologize, but a situation that could have escalated if I didn't remain calm in police brutality. Do I think the cop was racist? No. Do I think the cop was one of these bad cops? I don't know. I've only met him once, I don't know his record. But I know I wouldn't be surprised if he had complaints filed against him. That I can tell you guys. So that's going to do it for me on this episode of Live Feed with your host, Richard Santiago. Danielle, thank you for joining us. I hope everything is good with you, Danielle. Say hello to your dad and your sisters for me and your nephew. Definitely will see you shortly. So, Live Feed is brought to you by Traveling Tech Teacher for all your digital resources. Check out travelingtechteacher.com, and also brought to you by thebullyexposed.com. Get your Be Kind t-shirt, guys, at thebullyexposed.com. Come on and get them. Nice, cool, different colors. Come in red, they come in black. Get them. Support thebullyexposed.com, guys, okay? They're only trying to do good things. So remember, anyone can wear the crown. Anyone can be a hero. Be kind to one another, guys, and have a great day. Bye now.